Welcome to the Trade Talk Showcase on Brownfield. I'm anchor reporter Megan Grebner. With us is Jody Gander, North American Technology Development Manager for Corn Trades. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. How are you?
I'm doing well, thank you. Today we're going to talk a little bit about Bayer's corn rootworm monitoring program, The Watch. Let's start first and recap what The Watch is and how it works.
Okay. So the Watch is really a grower awareness program. It was started in 2019 and continued for 2020. And what we want to do with the Watch program is to make sure that we keep growers aware of corn rootworm. If we think about the last couple of years, there really hasn't been a lot of corn rootworm pressure widespread across the Midwest. That certainly changed in 2020. If we think about a lot of the states such as Iowa, Illinois, Nebraska, we certainly saw more rootworm pressure this year than what we had seen in the last couple of previous years. So this fits in well with the Watch, which again, the purpose of the Watch is just because we haven't seen them the last couple of years doesn't mean that they have gone away completely. And so with the Watch program, this was really to help keep that awareness. So the Watch, there was a website that was developed, traits.bayer.com/the Watch. And with that website, growers could go on and they could actually request a free, what we call a sticky trap starter kit. When they would get their starter kit, it contained a few yellow sticky traps. And what they would do is they could take these out into their fields. They could put these traps up and get familiar with how you trap rootworm adults in order to try to use it as a gauge of what kind of pressure you might have the following year. Again, this is just a starter kit, but to really do it on a wide scale, you would need more traps than this. And Iowa State University has developed a system where you do this and thresholds that what you do is you put these traps out, you change them periodically over the course of several weeks, and at the end of the year, you calculate up the average number of beetles per trap per day that you caught. And by doing that and looking at the thresholds, you can see if you may be at risk of having an issue with corn rootworm the following year. And then that will help you to determine what kind of a management strategy you need to have for corn rootworm, since it is such a devastating pest.
So it doesn't help us in the current year, but it does help us to plan for the following year. So what are some things that growers need to think about in products that are available to them to help mitigate the risk of corn rootworm?
Yes, as you said, it's really too late to do anything this year for what we're going to see next year. We really can't do any monitoring or anything, but we can certainly plan ahead. If you're a grower that's had issues with corn rootworm this year, it's really good to be proactive when managing corn rootworm. Corn rootworm is a pest that once you see the damage, there's really no good rescue options that can come back and help you. So you really need to be proactive up front when managing for next year. One of the ways that growers have traditionally been controlling it is through the use of biotech products. We offer SmartStax technology or SmartStax Rib Complete. In SmartStax technology, it has two modes of action, or has two modes of action that have Bt proteins, which are active against below ground pests, such as western corn rootworm and northern corn rootworm. These are the main two species that we generally associate with being an issue in the Midwest. So those two proteins can provide control, but we also encourage growers to take other management strategies that might be available because this insect can be so devastating. It's often called the billion-dollar bug because between the cost of control and lost yield, it's estimated that it can cost growers as much as $1 billion a year. So in addition to looking at biotech traded products, growers should also look at other options such as crop rotation. By rotating to a non-corn crop or a non-host crop, those rootworm larvae that will hatch next year, they won't have any food source, so they will go ahead and die. So then the next year when you plant corn, you won't have any corn rootworm issues in that field. So crop rotation is a way to break that cycle of corn rootworm. Another thing growers can do is use a non-rootworm treated product with a soil applied insecticide. By doing that, you're using an alternative to BT trait technology, and you're reducing the selection pressure on those BT proteins. Other things that growers can do is adult beetle management. By spraying adult beetles before they lay eggs, it's crucial that you get the timing right, but if you control the females before they lay eggs by scouting, you can really reduce the pressure that you will see in the subsequent year. Another thing you can do is the sticky trapping that we talked about. So we really look at corn rootworm. You need to have an overall management plan that takes advantage of all the different possibilities that you have for corn rootworm. So as far as next year, those are some of the things that I think growers should look at. For 2022, we're really excited that we are planning a launch of our new biotech product for corn rootworm management, which will be SmartStax Pro. So SmartStax Pro, again, we plan on launching it in 2022. It's not currently available for sale, but SmartStax Pro will be the first product on the market that has 3 modes of action for corn rootworm control. So it will have the BT proteins that we currently have with SmartStax technology, but it will have a third mode of action that is based on RNAi technology. And how this is important is that RNAi technology is not a protein, so it doesn't work in the same way as what the BT proteins work. So since they work in different ways, it is another way that we can help to try to prevent or stave off any resistance that may be developing. Because if, say, we have resistance developing to, say, the BT proteins, we'll have this additional mode of action to help control those, to try to ensure the durability of the traits that we currently have. So again, SmartStax Pro is not currently available. It won't be available in 2021, but we do have a lot of excitement for it going forward in 2022 once we receive all the regulatory approvals that we need.
Jody, if folks want to find out more information about the watch or to watch also for new traits and new technology that's available to them, what's the best place for them to go?
Yeah, I think the best place to go, as we talked about with the watch program, is to go to the website that was developed for the watch program. That website is traits.bayer.com/the watch. And if you want to learn more about Bayer trait technologies or Bayer products, I would encourage them to go to the Bayer Crop Science website at bayer.com.
Jody, thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you.
I'm Megan Grebner for Brownfield.